burial of a broken heart. Rondu decided to bury Flora at the foot of Mount Evi, just as he had done for his beloved master, Tammy. His hands plunged deep into the hard earth, each handful of soil he lifted filled with his tears. The sharp rocks and rough soil cut into his skin, causing his hands to bleed, but he felt no physical pain, only the unbearable ache in his heart. As he dug deeper, memories of Flora flooded his mind. He could see her smile, hear her laugh, and feel her touch. Each memory was a painful reminder of what he had lost. The tears streamed down his face, mingling with the dirt and blood, but he continued to dig, driven by a sense of duty and love. When the grave was finally ready, Rondu looked at the coffin holding Flora's lifeless body. His heart broke all over again at the sight. He couldn't bear to lower her into the ground, to say goodbye to the woman who had meant everything to him. He collapsed beside the coffin, wrapping his arms around it as if he could somehow hold onto her forever. He whispered her name, his voice choked with grief, "Flora, my love, please don't leave me." Time seemed to stand still as he held the coffin, his tears soaking into the wood. The sun began to set, casting a golden glow over the landscape, but Rondu remained by Flora's side, unable to let her go. The sky turned from gold to orange, then to a deep, sorrowful blue, but still, he clung to the coffin, refusing to say his final goodbye. As darkness enveloped the mountain, Rondu knew he had to complete the burial. With a heavy heart, he slowly stood up, his body trembling from exhaustion and sorrow. He placed his hands on the coffin, feeling the cold, unyielding wood beneath his fingers. He took a deep breath and began to lower it into the grave. Each inch it descended felt like a knife twisting in his heart. When the coffin finally rested at the bottom, Rondu knelt beside the grave, his tears falling freely. He whispered his final farewell, "Goodbye, Flora. I love you. I will always love you." He knew that no words could ever express the depth of his loss, the emptiness that now filled his soul. With trembling hands, he began to cover the coffin with soil, each shovelful feeling like an eternity. The weight of his grief pressed down on him, making it almost impossible to continue, but he forced himself to keep going. He owed it to Flora to give her a proper burial, to honor the love they had shared. As the last of the soil covered the grave, Rondu stood up, his body aching and his heart shattered. He felt a profound sense of loss, a void that could never be filled. The night air was cold, and the stars above seemed indifferent to his suffering. Rondu knelt beside the grave once more, placing his hand on the fresh soil. "Flora," he whispered, "you were my light in the darkness. You gave me hope and love when I had none. I will carry you with me always, in my heart and in my soul. Rest in peace, my love." With that, Rondu stood up and walked away from the grave, each step heavy with sorrow. He knew that he had to keep going, to find a way to honor Flora's memory by living the life she had always dreamed of. But for now, all he could do was grieve, letting the weight of his loss wash over him as he walked into the night, leaving a part of his heart buried at the foot of Mount Evi. The Silent Watcher. From a distance, a shadowy figure silently watched Rondu. The silhouette of the observer revealed the graceful form of a woman, her presence hidden under the cloak of night. She remained still, her eyes fixed on Rondu as he completed the heartbreaking task of burying Flora. She had been there since the beginning, witnessing every tear, every painful moment, and every anguished cry. She saw the immense sorrow etched into Rondu's face, the way his body trembled with each sob, and the tender care he took in laying Flora to rest. The woman's heart ached for him, sharing in his grief from the shadows. As Rondu finally stood and began his journey back up Mount Evi, the Silent Watcher remained hidden. She waited until he was a safe distance away, ensuring he would not notice her presence. Her eyes followed his every move, a mixture of sadness and determination in her gaze. Once Rondu disappeared into the darkness, making his way back to the mountain, the shadowy figure turned and slipped away into the night. Her movements were as quiet as a whisper, her departure as unseen as her arrival. For now, she vanished into the shadows, her presence a secret known only to herself and the night. Whispers in the shadows. Months after Flora's death, rumors spread like wildfire. People whispered that Flora had not truly died but had performed the greatest illusion of her career. Some claim to have seen her alive, living with her father, Heiss, and conducting classes in the art of illusion. The rumors created a frenzy of speculation and intrigue. In a bustling marketplace, two merchants, Lior and Tarek, discussed the latest gossip. Lior, did you hear the latest? They say Flora is still alive. Tarek, alive? Impossible. I saw Rondu himself bury her. Lior, I know, but several people swear they've seen her. She's teaching illusion classes now. Tarek, teaching classes? That's absurd. But if anyone could fake their own death, it would be Flora. Her illusions were legendary. At a local tavern, a group of friends sat around a table, mugs in hand, exchanging stories. Anna, I heard Flora never actually died. It was all a trick to escape with her father. Boring nonsense. Rondu buried her. I was there. I saw the grief on his face. Lena, but think about it, boring. What better way to disappear than to fake your death? Flora was a master of deception. Maybe this was her grand finale. Marcus, I've heard people say they've seen her. She's been spotted at various illusion shows, always in the shadows, watching. Anna, if she is alive, what does that mean for Rondu? He must be devastated. In a secluded corner of a quiet library, two scholars debated the rumors. Elara, these rumors about Flora, could they be true? Damon, possible. Illusion is her craft. Perhaps she wanted to escape the chaos and her father's influence. Elara, but what about Rondu? Would she really leave him like that? Damon, maybe she had no choice. Or perhaps it was the only way to protect him from Heiss. Imagine the turmoil he must be in if he hears these rumors. As the rumors continued to swirl, Rondu himself heard the whispers. He struggled with the possibility that Flora might be alive, the hope clashing with his grief and guilt. The uncertainty gnawed at him, driving him to seek the truth. The rumors of Flora's supposed survival spread far and wide, creating a tapestry of speculation, hope, and intrigue. The truth remained shrouded in mystery, waiting to be unveiled. The unyielding quest. A spark of hope ignited in Rondu's mind. Flora is still alive? How could that be? I buried her with my own hands. Yet, the thought of Flora being a master of illusion made the impossible seem possible. Perhaps she had faced an excruciatingly difficult choice. She couldn't remain by Rondu's side while her father, Heiss, was incapacitated. Flora had chosen to leave Rondu to care for her father. It was a heart-wrenching decision, but perhaps it was the right one. Thinking this, Rondu felt an overwhelming surge of joy. He whispered to himself, I will find you, Flora, even if I have to face 1,000 dangers. No matter what, I will bring you back. The longing to find Flora burned within him like an unquenchable flame. The thought of her absence was a wound that refused to heal, gnawing at his heart and driving him forward. He imagined himself facing insurmountable challenges, battling fierce storms, and traversing treacherous terrains. No river was too wide to bridge, no mountain too high to climb, and no ocean too deep to cross. Rondu's determination was unwavering. He would move mountains and bend rivers if it meant bringing Flora back. He was willing to pay any price, sacrifice anything, and endure any hardship to see her again. In the quiet chamber of his mind, he told himself, Flora, I will tear apart the very fabric of this world to find you. No power in heaven or on earth can stop my resolve. I will not rest until you are by my side once more, no matter the cost. And so, Rondu's journey to find Flora began.